anyone remember back in the day where people used to be like, oh my god, I'm about to have a BF? I'm just feeling that right now, okay? On the fifth and final take I filmed this video, I realized that the heater was on the whole time in the background. So I'm gonna do this video one more time, and it better be good. Thanks to a few lovely viewers in the comments, this video is going to be the pros and cons of going to UPENN, aka Penn. So we're just gonna jit. First, I'm just gonna mention some things that could go either way depending on the person. Like it could be a pro for some people, but it could be a con for others. So I'll just mention those things. Penn is pretty liberal. So if you're the kind of guy who likes to wear your Make America Great hat everywhere,
that is so problematic.
Oh my god, what is he wearing?
Something to consider. It has very unpredictable weather. Yes, it can be 40 degrees one day and 60 degrees the next with no warning. Kind of crazy. So just be prepared for anything if you do decide to come here. It's a big party school. I have heard of people feeling kind of left out going here and not being people who like to party. For me, I do like to party occasionally, but there are times where I really like to shut myself in my room and not leave for 2 days at a time. And I've never felt like bad or like people didn't like me because I didn't go out to party with them. Everybody's experiences are different. So just keep in mind, it's a big party school and people literally go out Wednesday through Saturday like clockwork. So athletics aren't super big here. Definitely not Big Ten tailgates every weekend, big games, sold out stadiums. Not like that at all. I feel like most people just go to the football games to take pictures, honestly, and throw toast, obviously to throw toast. But with all that being said, we're gonna move into the pros and the cons. We're gonna start with location. So, the cons of Penn's location. Penn is an open campus, so that means anyone and everyone can just walk through, do what the hell they want. So that includes people who like to have protests and say that if you're Muslim, feminist, gay, or pretty much anything that's not white, conservative male, you're going to hell. But yeah, those people, it's an open campus, it's the public, they have freedom of speech, so they can do it. I will say that when you go off campus, and especially like when it's not broad daylight, it can get a little risky. Like we do always get the little text alerts that people, like someone has been robbed or someone's book bag has been stolen. So you just have to be really careful. But there are definitely resources like Penn Walk and Penn Rides. For example, one day I was walking to my sister's house and she lived a little bit off campus in a like not as nice area, and I had a security guard or a Penn officer walk me to her house. So there are options like that, but a lot of people just never bother with them, but they do exist. So as far as the pros, I think Penn is in like a prime location. Like it's so easy to get to New York, it's so easy to get to Center City and even into New Jersey and the shore. And Center City is just so beautiful. Like I love Center City. There's lots of restaurants and shopping, and there's of course Penn's Landing, which is just gorgeous and is always decorated depending on the time of the year it is. It's kind of ritzy, so like usually the people who spend a lot of time downtown are people who have big IDs and have a little bit of dinero, but why did I just say dinero? I don't spend a lot of time in Center City, but when I do go, I have a lot of fun.
I've never seen myself talk in such a weird, seemingly sponsored way. I apologize.
So we're going to get into like resources, pros and cons. So it's just going to be anything within the realm of education, dining halls, living areas, you know, stuff like that. So we're going to start with the cons, and we're going to start with dining halls and dorms. So for you to be paying $70,000, given that you don't have any financial aid, I feel like your dining options are very trash. Like you would expect this Ivy League prestigious institution to have these beautiful, gorgeous dorms and this delicious gourmet food, but it's not the case. And one thing that kind of annoys me is that the dining halls have weird hours. When I was touring other schools, you could literally like swipe into a dining hall and eat there all day and use one swipe. But here they don't do that. So like if it's 3:30 p.m. like it is right now and you're hungry, then you're shit out of luck because you can't swipe into a dining hall. Yeah, they have weird hours and the food is not excellent. Penn is in the city, and so you're gonna have pests. Just a thing. Freshman year, I wouldn't say that my room was dirty, but I did see a life-size cockroach and a mouse in other parts of the door. It's just part of living in Philly, but I won't say that the dorms are as beautiful and great as I've seen at some other campuses, so just know that, for them to have a $70,000 cost of living, you would expect them to be a lot better, Next, we're gonna go into the education aspect. So it's a very big research institution. Students, professors, and everyone here loves research. Well, pretty much for people in the sciences. So if you're in science courses, it is very likely that you will get a professor who doesn't give two shits about teaching this class. He just works at Penn so he can get some research funding. That's that. And then in those same classes, you may very likely get TAs that barely speak English or suck at explaining or both or just suck. Yeah, it's kind of the struggle in STEM. The lectures are very big. You have professors that don't teach very well and TAs that don't help you learn very well. So it can be really hard to understand material if you are not the kind of person who just looks at things and gets it. So that's been kind of the struggle. And moreover, the exams are really effing hard, and tests and scores and exams are just really stressful and hard. That is... But for the pros, like I said, your professors are probably really involved in research, and a pro of that is that most of the time they are leaders in their field of research. Like these most accredited studies that you discuss in class, you see that professors at your school and other Ivy Leagues and Stanford and stuff are part of those leading research studies, and you have them as a resource. Like you literally have their email. You can go talk to them and be their friend. That is so cool. Also, Penn has pretty decent financial aid, I won't lie. Up until this year, I would have said it was A1, but the policy changed a little bit and people don't get as much aid as before. But I still go here for free, and I'm really thankful for that. Financial aid. I can't even feel, I'm so hungry. So the last things we are going to discuss, I put into an other category because I don't know if they can really be grouped into other things. But the cons of this other category are pretty serious. It's a serious topic. It wouldn't feel fair to make this video without mentioning it. A lot of people like to glaze over the idea of, I'll just say it, mental health. A lot of people just like to glaze over it and pretend it's not a big problem and that people here aren't struggling, trying to keep a level head, but it is a big problem. I've experienced it, my friends are experiencing it, just being this low, feeling like you will never succeed and like, why am I here kind of thing. It stems from a lot of things. It's just really sad, and our mental health resources are not where they should be. So that is something to consider. It just has to be mentioned that mental health overall is poor here. So, especially being first generation, low income, such a culture shock. This is not something that people have dealt with in my family, going to college and especially an Ivy League institution and dealing with these tough exams and all the work and all this stuff. So it can be a lot. It's just something that should be mentioned. So, but the pros, I've met some of the most phenomenal people here. My roommate, I love her to death. I'm so happy that I've had the pleasure of meeting her. She's just so hardworking and diligent, and I'm so happy because it has inspired me in ways that I can't even imagine. When I was in my lowest of lows, I really didn't have many friends here. I didn't have any. I didn't really have these people to help me and inspire me and lift me up. But being friends with her has brought me into contact with so many more amazing people. I've just met some great people here, and it's honestly my favorite thing about Penn, the people that I've met. I will say Penn does a pretty good job of accepting people who are just like amazing. Like, I won't say that everyone here is like my cup of tea, but the people that I have met that are just fill my heart with effing joy. Like, it's so great. You will meet some great people here and make lifelong friendships. And another thing that's kind of just like uncategorized is this school is so old and has so much tradition, and I just love it. It's so quirky and so cool. Like throwing toast at football games and getting your P sweatshirt when you become a junior and having heyday when you become a senior. It's just rich with tradition, and I love it so much. We have the geekiest little songs and the quirkiest little traditions. I love being a part of this quirky little institution. Penn, yay, great! That's all I have for today. Overall, I will say that I've had some really high highs and really low lows, but overall, I am very satisfied with my decision to come to Penn. I believe that your failures and negative experiences also contribute to who you become, and I really, really like who I'm becoming now, and I don't think that I would be the same person if I had gone to another school. I wouldn't have met these amazing people. I wouldn't have these amazing resources. I wouldn't have had the failures. I wouldn't have had the sad and lonely nights that have contributed to the person that I am today. I love looking out my window and seeing campus, and I love appreciating the fact that I'm here, and that for someone that comes from my background, it's such a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Everyone has a different place. The place for you and the place for me may be totally different. Someone may thrive in some small institution in the middle of Kentucky, and some people may be better suited at the bustling New York City atmosphere in Columbia. Some people may be better suited for Penn, but that's for you to decide given this list. I hope I did a good job explaining everything. I had to go quickly through some topics because this video is 25 minutes long right now, and I have to edit it and I have work to do. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, let me know. If you have any suggestions, leave them down below. If you just want to tell me hey, you can comment hey, and I'll be like, hey.